Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here on First Alert 6 streaming this morning. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Erin Hartley, joined by meteorologist Jarrett Lansford and Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord. A little bit of spotty showers to start the day.
Yeah, not like what we had over Labor Day weekend, so you don't need to worry about an all-day washout. But the clouds are here. They're not going anywhere. And every once in a while, they're going to give us a few showers. So let's show you what we have happening. Pretty dry and quiet out there in the metro right now, but it's during this 7 o'clock hour when the chances start to move into the area. Again, with spotty showers, some of you will have rain at the same time others are completely dry, so it'll vary a little bit around the area. 63 degrees, low dew point right now at 59, but you can see some scattered showers dropping in from the north, and they extend all the way up into South Dakota. So on and off rain will be the story. It never lasts for very long or adds up to all that much, but you can see a couple of showers now moving towards Decatur, Ottawa. Any of this green that fills in here over the last couple of frames, just a little low-level moisture that radar's picking up on ground clutter most of the time. It's the showers you see dropping in from the north that you'll notice here a little bit more towards Norfolk, Columbus. Temperatures in the 60s right now, and they're going to stay fairly cool this morning, but we should get a chance to warm a little bit into the middle part of the day. Kind of an odd one. Normally our highs about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Today's high temperature after these warmer start in the 60s will probably happen near noon. Let me show you what I'm talking about. There's the spotty showers as we march through the course of the morning. 9 o'clock, still some on the map. By noon, there could be a couple of thunder showers and then a little bit of clearing, maybe to surge us into the low 70s, and then we'll fall off after that as scattered showers continue to meander through. It appears to have locked up a little bit, but by 5 o'clock is about the last little bit of those spotty showers that we will have in the area. Beyond 5, a lot of those push to the south and shouldn't be much of an issue. Tomorrow, we start off pretty chilly, down in the 40s in the morning hours, then climb to 75 in the afternoon. And you'll notice a storm threat there that tries to sneak in the evening hours. Just enough of a little nose of some energy sneaking in by the evening hours here. This is thunderstorm energy. The worst of it will probably be down to the south in Kansas, but a little bit of that will try to feed into some storms that are able to develop in our area by Thursday evening. So that's what I'll be watching. The storm chances going up a little bit. I don't expect widespread severe, but it's something to watch Thursday evening after 6 o'clock. And then we go to 66 on Friday with some breezy conditions as well. And that'll probably be the coolest day we have, and with a high only in the 60s thanks to the clouds that'll be around.
Yeah, all right, we got the cool down, some nice weather ahead for all the fall people who love it, but there's going to be one little thing that could ruin it for us.
You always got to pay attention when our air masses are coming from the north. We've dealt with this quite a bit. Last couple haven't been bad, but air quality is something we got to watch, because right now air quality good. But in our area to the north, you'll notice it's starting to drop off. For parts of North Dakota, in the red, up around Calgary, Edmonton, those are Canadian wildfires. And every little round of cool air will just keep snagging a little more of that smoke and trying to send it our way. So over the course of the day today, you will notice another little plume probably by the end of the day sneaking in here. Watch to the west where another batch of it rolls in for early Thursday. This could impact air quality. It's something we're going to have to watch closely, because you see a lot of comfortable afternoons on the way for the weekend. Hopefully this gets pushed a little farther south and we can really enjoy that nice weather, because the dew points are going to drop and it's going to be phenomenal this weekend. Chilly in the morning, down in the 40s, but we get 70s for afternoon highs. Very cool for this time of year, about 10 plus degrees below average. If you want summer, that's not gone yet. We still got some 80s on the way by the end of next week, and I wouldn't be surprised if we push into the upper 80s at some point. See how those trend, but overall it is trending warmer towards the end of next week.
Okay, good to know. In the meantime, let's get an update on traffic. Let's talk about some of those earlier crashes you were tracking.
It's been a busy start to the day.
Yes.
We had I-80 that was impacted. Thankfully, that crash at 84th and I-80 has now cleared, so you don't have to worry about any kind of impacts in that area. You are looking not too far away from that, not crash related, but look at how slow things have gotten as you're going on westbound I-80 in that construction zone. Brake lights all the way through the sight line there from about Giles back toward Q and L, so yeah, it's a mess of a morning as you're making your way through those areas. And you can see that's backing up toward the 680 interchange. That's always kind of the magic area I'm looking at for where things really start to derail for the commute. So keep an eye on that. It could really back up as you're making your way there onto westbound I-80 as you're getting around 96, 108th, leading up to that 680 interchange, and even 680 itself as you're going southbound if that trend continues. You're even seeing a little bit of a delay as you get past that, closer to 144th as you head westbound. So it's not going real well on the interstate there. As far as the JFK goes, we're slow right near I-80 on the ramp itself, but not too much on the rest of that stretch. Now remember, we usually get delays that start building a little bit more as we go through the next 15, 20 minutes or so. So I'll keep an eye on that. That's what we're seeing as far as Highway 75 in the metro, and the metro otherwise moving along in pretty good shape. Highway 75 further to the south, though, this is something I've been tracking all the way for the last several hours, and still closed on Highway 75 as you get south of Auburn. This is a crash that involved a semi, and both directions are impacted. So if you're traveling anywhere between Auburn and Highway 62 normally, you have to alter your route. That's the stretch that is impacted. So you have to use 62. You can see how that's slowing down quite a bit with the traffic load that road doesn't normally have. And then you have to make your way over towards Schubert, take Highway 67, and then make your way to Highway 136. That's quite a lot of extra time. If you are somebody who travels in Nemaha County or Richardson County, you're going to need to use that long detour this morning. So keep that in mind. We'll keep you posted on when that does reopen, and we'll give you the first alert to that. And of course, watching the metro with all the traffic that's now joining the roads, and we'll hope to avoid more crashes happening.
Okay, Jared, thank you. Happening today, the man accused of killing Creighton's baseball director will be sentenced, but there is a catch. The judge previously found Liddell Thornton not responsible by reasons of insanity. Today's sentencing creates a placeholder, so if Thornton is ever released from jail, he must first serve the sentence for a previous gun charge before he gets to be free.
Well, also happening today, one of the women detained in an ICE raid at an Omaha meat processing plant is set to have a hearing in federal court. Nearly 80 people were detained in the ICE raids at Glen Valley Foods back in June. The ACLU of Nebraska tells us the woman cannot post the bond she's been granted because of an automatic stay from ICE. And happening next week, Nebraska State Senator Terrell McKinney says an interim hearing will be held over the work ethic camp in McCook. The point of the hearing would be to discuss potential building code issues that may pop up when changing the facility into an ICE detention center. The hearing is expected to happen next Friday.
All right, now to Maria Kay to the safety desk. Maria, for the first time since 2017, there's new guidelines about blood pressure.
Yeah, these just came out for the American Heart Association, and experts say that these new guidelines are to help prevent any future health conditions that people might develop. So in the U.S., nearly half of all adults have higher than normal blood pressure, but experts say a lot of people actually don't know that they even have it. 130 over 80 millimeters of mercury and higher, that's considered stage 1 of hypertension, according to these new guidelines. And experts say high blood pressure doesn't typically have symptoms, but when it shoots up, though, the force of your blood pushes against the walls of your blood vessels, and that makes your heart work harder. Without treatment, high blood pressure can damage your arteries, and if you do have it, doctors say you might need to make some lifestyle changes.
Diet and exercise and really cutting back salt, and a big one that they're saying, no alcohol.
So if you try all that and that doesn't work for you, experts say you can consider some medication. Obviously, they have that for people who need to help lower their blood pressure. But the new guidelines say that keeping blood pressure at a normal level, it doesn't just help your heart, as we just talked about, but it also helps protect your brain in the future. They're all connected.
Okay, good to know. Maria Kay, thank you. We're back after this.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope your morning's getting off to a good start. It's a mild, you can see, kind of cloudy start to the day. You can tell we're expecting some rain later today, so grab the umbrella or whatever you need to keep yourself dry. Maybe you make a run for it. Some people just do that. Either way, it's coming. Let's check in with Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord. A lot of people excited about football Saturday.
The weather's still looking good. Beautiful afternoons this weekend. A little chilly in the morning and evening, and that's something to take into account. Whether you're heading to Lincoln for the first home game, a 6:30 kickoff against Akron, it'll be a 66 at kickoff and then cooling during the game. So I'd definitely go with long sleeves for that one. If you're heading down early to tailgate at Iowa State, that's an 11 o'clock kick, so it'll be chilly in the morning and then warming into the 60s during the afternoon. So overall, great weekend for football. Weather shouldn't get in the way other than a little fall chill in the air. Thunderstorm warning heading towards Des Moines, not a big issue for our area. We just have some scattered showers that are dropping in, and even those are having a tough time hanging on. Some in west central Iowa dropping through. A lot of the green that shows up over the last couple of frames, just a little low-level moisture that isn't amounting to much. But this is the way the radar's going to look. Some spotty showers at any point during the day today, and it'll never be steady rain, it'll never be heavy rain, but there's going to be some on the map. Temperatures in the 60s right now, trying to drag in a little bit of warmth with these showers, and I think as we head through the course of the day, even with some rain chances kind of on and off here this morning and into the afternoon, still get a chance to warm a little bit. Not nearly as much as yesterday, but a little bit of warming. This evening and overnight should be quiet as far as rain goes, but you can see 72 for the high today. Just note that 72 for the high will probably be right around lunch or maybe a little after, and then the cooler air moves in. Some more chances of storms on Thursday, 75 for the high before any storms try to develop. Notice it's a pretty quiet afternoon. By the evening, there you go. Broken line of some thunderstorms dropping southeast. Now, one or two of those could pick up a little steam. Notice how we had that random one over towards Des Moines this morning. I think anything Thursday evening could do that as well, with an isolated one right on the edge of severe, getting right up to the limits there. So we'll keep an eye on Thursday evening. Friday could have a couple of morning showers and then mostly cloudy skies to shake. But there's a little bit of that thunderstorm energy just sneaking up into our area for Thursday evening. Not much to work with, but we'll see if that can turn into anything for Thursday evening with the storms that develop. And then anything that fires up will press that all to the south. So probably not a big deal there. Then the cooler air moves in Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll watch and see if any wildfire smoke moves in with it, but probably hopefully not a big deal. 46 Saturday and Sunday morning. Couple of cold starts out there. Definitely going to want the long sleeves if you're doing that all-day tailgating thing in Lincoln.
Yeah. All right. Looking into next week, any chance we get back up into the 80s?
Yeah, it's looking pretty likely by middle of next week. About a week from now, we'll be right up near 80 degrees for several days, and would not be surprised if these trend up the way things are looking on models. So right now, playing conservative just to see how things go, but a lot of 80s on the way mid to end of next week, and then even leaning warmer than average over the middle of the country here into the middle of September. So I think we could threaten 90 for a day. We'll see if we get up near that, but a lot of 80s on the way next, or the end of next week and into next weekend, I think. So if those wanting to hold on to a little bit of summer, we're not done yet.
No. Okay. That sounds good. All right. Speaking of good, is traffic getting better?
Better?
Better.
Sound more convincing than that.
That's a good word for it. We've got some areas that are slow, though, and it's particularly, let's go to I-80. That's where we've been looking at things really checking up as we are making our way in that stretch from about 680 all the way down to 144th heading westbound. That's in the top left corner here. Others areas are moving along in decent shape. Dodge a little slow, but nothing that's unusual there. What I've noticed is, notice how many of these cones we've got. We've had some work that's been happening, possibly even lingering from overnight. This is, of course, an active construction zone that we have ongoing, hence all of the lane restrictions. How bottled up things are as you're making your way in that stretch. Right around Giles is where you're looking at this point. And when I pull up the map, you're going to notice even as you're making your way past Giles, you still have some delays that are showing up. That's not usually there as much as what we're seeing this morning. Up the road, this is where we normally have our delays. So you can see that's a more extended area. We have things quite slow on westbound I-80 and starting to back up onto I-80 even before you get to the 680 interchange. So as you're getting into this part of the metro, if you're using the interstate, even if you're on 680 heading toward that interchange, be ready for it to be slow. There could be some delays as people navigate this construction zone that's really giving us more of a hard time than usual this morning. Other spots, we're getting some delays showing up on Dodge, as I mentioned. That's not something that we are not unaccustomed to seeing this morning. We usually get some slowdowns there right around 168th, 180th heading eastbound. This is a little more unusual as you're heading westbound on Dodge right in that area. That's as you're making your way around the 30th or so area. You've got things running a little slow, so keep an eye on that. A little slow 370 as well near 36, but those are the spots where things are slow. A lot of the other main roads are moving along in pretty good shape at this point, so hopefully we can keep that at bay and hopefully we can manage to work our way around that I-80 stretch that's really not doing too well here early this morning.
Okay, Jared, thank you. Happening today, Nebraska's updated move over law takes effect.
That's right, and this means you must slow down and move over when approaching all stopped vehicles and people on this side of the highway. People who drive 1 to 5 miles over the speed limit on any Nebraska road will face a $50 fine, and if you are driving 16 to 20 miles per hour, the fee goes all the way up to $200. Well, frustration continues from those who organized Nebraska's medical marijuana drive.
Arguments broke out during a public comment period with the Nebraska Medical Cannabis Commission. Medical marijuana advocates accused the commission of dismantling what the people demanded at the ballot box. The commission was meeting in Lincoln to issue its rules and regulations for the industry. Among those decisions, staying with 12 dispensaries, one for every judicial district. You can see that map here. A dispensary is where one would purchase medical marijuana with a doctor's note. Opponents of the rules say that they won't be nearly enough for Nebraska's population centers. Supporters of medical marijuana fear that voters will get a program that will not function.
It's very unfortunate. We tried to avoid this from happening. We tried to allocate funds in a legislative bill that would have outlined many of the things that they're talking about right now.
Members of the commission say they have until October 1 to have the system up and running.
Well, still ahead this morning, a community garden in Nebraska is spreading positivity.
How it all works when we come back.
Happening next week, McDonald's will offer 2 limited time deals nationwide.
A $5 sausage McMuffin with egg meal and an $8 Big Mac. Now the move comes after McDonald's reported a sharp drop in low-income customers. The company says the bundles mark a savings of more than 15% compared to ordering items separately. You could expect these deals starting September 8th. I think this is something that people have been talking about a long time on social media. When you have the 2 benefits of fast food, fast and inexpensive, when one of those things goes away, you know,
and people are over it. They just have stopped going.
And
so they had to respond.
I have a 4-year-old that likes French fries, and I've noticed that the prices aren't low.
people were talking about I think it was the McChicken. Used to be like $1 back in the day. People were wanting that back too.
Ate a lot of $1 double cheeseburgers in college.
Really?
Those don't exist anymore.
Well, new this morning, a couple in Lincoln grows flowers people can use to make bouquets.
Yeah, they come with a very unusual price tag, though. It's not cash, not credit cards, just one good deed. How about that? So you can either pay $1,000 or you can say something nice about yourself. Christopher Gorman and his wife started the mission of positivity just this year. With everything going on, they say it's just important to give back in this way.
I love it.
Yeah, what we say to ourselves matters.
It really
and I like that it makes us focus on something good.
Yeah.
It's true.
Just take a moment, smell the flowers, and think good thoughts about yourself.
Like, girl, you doing all right today.
Yes.
And you get some flowers out of it too,
There
right?
you go.
Exactly. It's a win-win. I love that. All right, everybody. We thank you for joining us here on our streaming. We're going to get ready for the update into today's show. You can watch it here on streaming or over our air.
All right. Have a great start to your Wednesday.
Say something good about yourself.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
A good Wednesday morning to you. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Erin Hartley. It's good to have you with us. Going to update on traffic this morning with Jared Lansford.
And I-80's been the problem spot. Earlier you had a crash near 84th. That is cleared, but as you're getting into the construction zone, look at how much things are checking up as you're near L, Q, Giles, and it's even backing up into the 680 interchange. Notice how things on 680 southbound even now starting to be impacted. So this could be a domino effect that we're looking at this morning, where we look at delays spreading as a result of people navigating that construction zone. A little slower as you're making your way toward 144th and away from 144th on I-80 as well. Elsewhere in the metro, some delays on 370 approaching I-80. Dodge also checking up quite a bit near 168th. Rusty.
Thanks, Jared. We're also tracking some showers moving in from the northwest right now, and you can see little specks of green on the map, and some of this a little heavier than others. Also a couple of thunderstorms. You can see a little bit of new development along I-80 now, a strong storm heading towards Des Moines. We should just see showers and maybe the occasional rumble of thunder, but quite a bit upstream here up into South Dakota that we'll be watching dropping south. So we have clouds around. Every once in a while we'll get a shower, and in between the showers we'll try to warm just a little bit today, but on and off rain possible all the way into the late afternoon hours. I'm going to keep chances through about 5 o'clock today, and overall we'll warm to 72 for the high around lunch, and then cool off into the 60s again after that as the north winds kick up a little bit of a southwest breeze on Thursday with some evening storm potential, and then the coolest day looking like Friday with 66 for the high. Aaron?
The man accused of killing Creighton's baseball director will be sentenced today. This despite a judge previously finding Liddell Thornton not responsible for the crime by reasons of insanity.
Well, it is 7:28 and we are back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then.